I love Japanese cinema. I love Japanese cinema. Love it. Love it. Love it. We don't even have to talk about. I just wanted to say that I love it.
What have you been watching?
Can you give an example?
Well, yeah.
Tell us something to watch, Vin.
To be honest,
I'm gonna write it down and watch it.
Yeah, Onibaba. I love Onibaba. It's great.
I'm not gonna pretend to know how to spell that.
Onibaba.
Oh, that's how I spelled it. Sweet.
Yeah. Onibaba, which is translated as ogre woman, and it's crazy good. It's shot in a field. It's black and white. Obviously Kurosawa, like anything that he does. Like obviously I love Ran. I love Throne of Blood. I'm trying to think of Seven Samurai, right? Those are like the go-tos. But I also love there's this one that's got this really interesting like horror vibe to it. It's called Kwaidan. And it's basically an anthology of Japanese like ghost stories. And it's all like, you know, like during like the samurai era and stuff like that. And it's so fucking cool. And so I kind of had like this little renaissance of it recently where I just saw a post and it's like the best filmmakers like watch a lot of anime. And I literally just started going back and I was like, dude, I got to touch back into Japanese cinema again.
You're like, I have to be the best filmmaker.
No, it's like they were literally showing like some of my favorite like clips from like Cowboy Bebop and like what's it called?
We might have saw the same video of it. Was this because I watched a similar video that was like the reason why you're pulling like really your storytelling gets very succinct when you watch animation and anime because of their animation budgets.
Mm-hmm.
They have to tell their story within a very confined, like you got to get information across in a very what would you call it, efficient ways.
Yeah.
And so you become snappy and you know everything has a meaning, everything has purpose.
Sure.
Was that some along the same lines they were saying?
Yeah.
I watched something similar.
Well, the reason why is because even if the frame is not moving, like there's still a lot of movement within the shot. Like, you know, like let's just say you have two people like walking in the snow. Like you just have like, you know, there's just so much to look at like within the frame, even if like there's no camera movement within the animation. And the same thing goes with like some Japanese cinema as well. There's always a lot of movement. There's a lot of movement. And I think that's what I love about it. And even when it's shot on like the 4:3 aspect ratio or whatever, I'm not a huge fan of, you know, 16:9. I'd rather have it like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to me. I love 4:3. Yeah, thanks. I love 4:3. That's always going to be my go-to. I love, you know, friggin' 2-3. Am I saying 2-3-1? Right? 2-4-1? No.
It'd be 239.
2-3-9. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. But yeah, I'd rather have something confined in a much more interesting aspect ratio to tell the story, you know, than just like 16:9. Because I don't know, it just helps you focus more like in a more confined space. And also there's symbolism behind that aspect ratio too. You know, like does that person feel confined or is this person narrow-minded or, you know, like, and it's meant to, you know, express that. And I feel like Japanese cinema does that like exceedingly well. And, you know, it's beautiful.
That's the thing that goes along with like what I was saying too about like, I've seen some Kurosawa and I think I watched more essays than I have actually watched the movies. Unfortunately, I do have to watch the movies. But exactly what you're talking about, the movement of the frame. He uses wind a lot. He uses rain a lot. He uses snow a lot. And to get those textures of like this environment, and you can't get that if you're shooting everything wide goddamn open and everything's blurred out. You get nothing, you get none of that. So you just don't get that world. You don't get to like have your eye look around the frame. Because it's just like, look at this. Now look at this. That's all you get. It's beautiful.
It's very few moments where Kurosawa actually does shoot wide open. It's very few moments where he does
it's very intentional.
Yeah, it's a very intentional
reason.
Then it's important, you know. But other than that, like if you like, because I'm gonna be honest with you, even a lot of commercials, like I'm talking like Chanel commercials and like, you know, like I'm talking like huge brands, like they shoot like in like a 5.8 or like a 4 because they want everything. They paid, you know, hundreds of thousands, if not $1 million, for like these big beautiful sets with these, you know, A-list actors to be on, and they want everything to be sharp.
Show
exactly.
it. We paid for it. Show it.
Right. Exactly.
That makes
so
sense,
like
yeah.
why is it that these top tier commercials are looking
Yeah.
better than fucking Hollywood movies.
Sure,
You
yeah.
know, like it's crazy.
Well, I mean, peak
Yeah.
sharpness for most lenses is like a 4 sometimes, isn't that
Yeah,
right?
right,
Isn't
but
that like real thing?
yeah, but like it is. But the crazy thing about it is a lot of people are like, oh no, I need like a 2.8 or a 2.4. It's like fuck that. Like if like focus on, especially if you're doing spec ads. Like I can't like, because when we first started the company, we spent like $10,000-$20,000 on like gear, right? If we were to go back and redo our old spec ads, I would heavily invest into production design for your spec ads if you have money to drop on your spec ads. But the whole thing is you want to make sure that you keep everything sharp, so that way they could see the amount of value that you put into it, and then everything else is
Yeah.
just
Well,
skill.
well, can I talk about the funny little tidbit where we thought the lenses we bought were like really poor quality? They weren't great. And then we just realized we're only shooting wide open.
Yeah,
So then we're like,
For sure.
Like in our
why-
earliest days, yeah.
because we were like, that's the way to do it. It's cinematic. And then all of a sudden we're like, this doesn't look great. So then we started going to a 4 or 5,
Yeah.
like 5, and like
Was it like
Like-
mostly a softness thing? Because
Yeah.
I know there's color shifts too that can happen when like
probably a little bit of that
Some
was definitely
of that's-
happening.
yeah, tinting. You know, and like when you shoot wide open
Yeah.
and you like our lenses are weird. It's like this tinting between like green and magenta. Like it's weird. Like, you know, like when something's wide open or if it's too far away or too close, like you see like the thing that's in front of the frame, and then one side is split to green, the other side is
Oh,
split to
wow.
like, magenta. It's really interesting. It's not a popular lens either these days, but they're pretty cool. But either way, I think that we need to go back to like older, especially like, you know, foreign, you know, like even if it's Japanese cinema or like, you know, like anything like that. So that way we can learn and tell better stories visually that way. And so I think from a cinematographer standpoint, I think you should be heavily invested into watching stuff from like Kurosawa and you know, things of that nature.
Did you watch Alice in Borderland yet?
I didn't yet. I didn't.
That's a Japanese show. It's incredible.
I'm finishing up Case Closed right now, and then once that's done, like that's
telling
like
you, you're gonna love it.
That's an old like back in the, I think it was like the late 90s or early 2000s. Like it's an anime that my dad and I used to watch. Funny enough, like so like I literally found out that it was on Netflix, and I'm like I have to rewatch this whole thing. But I think it was a different variant that my dad and I watched. But I'm still just gonna finish up the season, and then I'm gonna like, you know, just head into like some more cinema. But Alice in Borderland, you said?
Alice in Borderland. It's
Okay.
really cool. It's like a thriller. There's a gore.
Mm.
It's also psychological at times.
Okay.
I think you'll like it.
Hey Mike, start with Ran if you're gonna get onto Kurosawa.
I've heard of that. I have not seen it yet.
So
Yeah.
good. It's so good. Like start with Ran for sure. It's very colorful, and I think it'd be very interesting for like, you know, like it's just a.
That's the one where the guy gets shot with like 1,000,000 arrows, right?
That's one.
They did
Yeah,
that- they
that's
did
one
that
of the
stunt
shots.
where all the arrows are on strings.
Oh,
And
really?
like they all get projected, like hit the wall. It's crazy. It looks insane.
Well, do you know what's crazy? George Lucas, I think, funded that film
Oh, really?
because what happened was Kurosawa's career was going downhill, and he met George Lucas, which there wouldn't be no Star Wars if there wasn't Kurosawa.
Yeah.
Because he made
Seven Samurai is like very tied to
Right, exactly.
story
So
and stuff.
he's a huge Akira Kurosawa super fan. So Kurosawa couldn't get his films funded anywhere. And then George Lucas, you know, just opened up his checkbook and was like, what do you need to get made? And, you know, then Ran came to be, and that was like one of his best ones. So that's
a hell of a story.
yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So
That's really cool.
That's a George Lucas funded project, I think. If that's the right one, I'm pretty sure it's Ran, but I know George Lucas funded one of his films for sure. So, but yeah, definitely take a look.